Well, as the government moves to scrap the controversial VVIP helicopter deal, the losses to Finmeccanica are going to be considerable. But the virtual blacklist also means a series of crucial Indian acquisition programs for the armed forces will be brought to a sudden halt. And that's terrible news for the Indian warfighters.
Finmeccanica is in worse trouble than it has ever been in its history. It has just been red-cornered by the world's biggest buyer of weapons, India. As the UPA government makes up for lost time by initiating the process to scrap the controversial VVIP helicopter deal with the company's subsidiary AgustaWestland, we now tell you how that's peanuts compared to what they really stand to lose.
It's a 3,500 crore deal, and Rahul, if I could tell you, it's this close to actually becoming complete.
Final stage of
it's in the final stage of opening the bids.
3,500 crores is the multi-role helicopter. Who will use these helicopters?
The Navy, the Indian Navy needs them for operations off ships, to hunt submarines, to hunt other ships, and the aircraft that are being used right now are more than 30 years old. They are unusable. People are refusing to fly them. There are no spare parts available, and that's the NH-90 helicopter of which AgustaWestland is.
So there's also the naval multi-role helicopter deal,
which is a similar
16,500 crore rupee, and even over here the tenders to be floated soon. So it's gone through an advanced stage of trials already.
It's already gone through an advanced stage.
But the virtual blacklist also means a series of crucial Indian acquisition programs for the armed forces shudder to sudden halt. And that's terrible news for the soldier, sailor and pilot. Indian Navy's multi-role helicopter program. In its final stages, one of the two finalists is the NH-90 helicopter, built by a company partially owned by AgustaWestland. A single vendor situation means the acquisition goes back to square one. The Indian Air Force's old Avro light transport aircraft are literally on their final legs. One of the only two contenders likely to bid for the massive replacement of 56th aircraft is the Finmeccanica-owned Alenia C-27J Spartan. Again, a single vendor situation means the project doesn't even get to lift off. Again, the Indian Navy needs medium-range maritime reconnaissance aircraft for its enormous maritime security areas of responsibility. The ATR-72, partially owned by Finmeccanica, is a likely contender. If it is thrown out of the hustings, it will be a massive loss for the company, but it will also mean the Navy has far less choice. And finally, the Army's massive, very short-range air defense system that looks to give its soldier quick reaction missile defense against the aerial threats. Field trials enter a final stage in Ladakh shortly, and one of the three finalists is the Mistral system built by a company partially owned by Finmeccanica. An overall potential loss of about 57,000 crore rupees is only a figure, and it will hit Finmeccanica and its many subsidiaries very hard. But it could hit the Indian warfighter even harder, because as usual, men and women in uniform will have to make do with old, dying equipment. The first casualty will be, as always, the armed forces themselves. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.